decision on a maximum sentence in a case in which the prosecutor said, if you give it to someone else, we'll dismiss all the cases. The real question is whether or not the special prosecutor is investigating all the other people who were identified during the course of the trial. I don't know if he is, and that's a question that I would suggest you pose to him. Other than that, we hope the court will see that there was a lot of error made at the trial level, that the sentence is totally out of proportion to the conduct that these ladies were convicted of, which is negligent misconduct. That's our hope. Our hope the sheriff says, of course. I'll let you guys make that decision. Let the political commentators decide whether a fourth-degree negligent misconduct is justified in an 18-month sentence. That's something that I'll let the political commentators address. I don't know why Mr. Baxter was bringing Mr. Bennett in this courtroom. I don't think that has any. That's a factor in the sentencing. He'll have to answer for that. I don't know.
Do you feel it was political, Roger?
I'm not. I'm a lawyer. I'm here to make sure that the Constitution of the United States is respected and that the sentencing factors are followed. I leave politics outside of us.
The judge addressed you sort of personally there at the end. Your response to the judge's comments?
No response. He was just making sure that the record was protected, I'm sure.
So the management judge suggested to do some sentence modification along how it
I think that's been the position of the state and the court from day one, that if you give up somebody else, you can go home free. Do you think if these ladies had someone else to give up, having watched their demeanor and listened to what they said, that they would, of course, give that person up? I mean, there's no conspiracy here, at least that these ladies have involved in.
Is there a law?
No. I would suggest there's been no evidence of that. Let me go back for a moment and give you a little historical background. Michael Vu and Gwen Dillingham both went into the grand jury and testified for hours about the investigation of this report. They came out and said to us, who were there, that your clients are going to get indicted, meaning Jackie Maiden and Kathleen Dreamer. At that point in time, the lawyers made a decision, well, in light of that revelation, we're not going to go and we're not going to testify. Any lawyer would do that, the question. So the grand jury decided, after having heard Michael Vu and Gwen Dillingham, not to indict. And that's what we know. Okay? Now, at that point in time, I wrote a letter to the Department of Justice and to Greg White and said, we think that given the significance and seriousness of a 1994 election, that the Department of Justice should be looking at this, not the special prosecutor. And they never did. And that, I think, speaks volumes as well. So, under the circumstances, is it political? You draw your own conclusions. I think anybody who was looking at this would suggest that. Even the prosecutor is saying that we threw your clients under the bus because the people who they can give up, they're not giving up. So, yeah, I'm not saying they threw them under the bus. Kevin Baxter said, we threw them under the bus. So,
thanks for your time, Roger.
Was that right?
Yeah. Well, you called.
Would you go for a sentencing reduction?
Well, that's kind of speculation at this point. However, I've always said I'm always out for the truth. I've always been, regardless of how long it takes, we'd like to see what the truth is. And what I mean by the truth is what the evidence says the truth is.
Right.
There have been people here that testified for the state that broke ranks. They came in, they had the courage to come in and testify to the truth, which is diametrically opposed to what these folks are saying.
You're certain they have more they can tell you?
My experience and what intelligence I have, Bill, it tells me that there's more than what we have here.
And what about their appeal issue? The law doesn't apply to them?
As far as
the Board of Elections?
We'll handle that on appeal. Obviously, the judge made his decision. That certainly will be probably a cornerstone of their appellate argument, but we'll address it as well.
Okay. Anything I'm missing you'd like to add?
No, that's about it.
Thank you for your time.
Will there be more indictments, do you think?
Oh, that's kind of speculation at this point.
We love to speculate, Kevin, that's what we do.
Isn't that a great term that someone came up with a way to question?
Right, that's, yeah, I got it.
Your thoughts on the sentence that the judge gave?
Well, I think it was appropriate. I think the judge outlined the reasons for it. It really was the position that these people held in the violations that occurred. It really goes to the heart of our democratic process, our democratic system. I think that was really the major reason why the judge imposed the sentence.
So it sounded to me like the judge was saying if, now that he's given this sentence, if the defendants remember more, give more information, there might be a change in the sentence or an opportunity for some adjustment. Did I understand that correctly?
Well, there's always opportunity. I think the judge wanted to press, and what I think the one of the problems you get is that they believe this is I think because the evidence allows it, and the evidence is overwhelming. It's not consistent with what they said. And so I think the judge, based upon that, is certainly someone who really wants to get the truth of the thing. We always have more. But I think that's a component.
Do you need a max sentence? Do you expect a max sentence?
I really didn't know what to expect. This is the first time I had an opportunity to meet Judge Corrigan. So I really didn't know what to expect. But again, based on what he said, based on the case, it certainly seemed appropriate.
Does this send the message that you think is appropriate in this case?
You know, I don't know if the message is sent. The judge